The opening ceremony will soon begin. May I invite our guests to be seated, please? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and those joining us online, good morning and welcome to the opening ceremony of the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022. With the objective of showcasing the strengths of the Hong Kong maritime industry, the Hong Kong Maritime Week has become a signature event since its inception in 2016. We have a great program this year, thanks to the concerted efforts of various parties, including the organizer, Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board, the co-organizers, Hong Kong Ship Owners Association and Hong Kong Maritime Museum, the partners, Hong Kong Trade Development Council and Invest Hong Kong, the support organizations, Asian Ship Owners Association, Baltic and International Maritime Council, China Maritime Law Association, China Ship Owners Association, Comité Maritime International, Hong Kong Maritime Law Association, International Chamber of Shipping, Maritime London, and the London Maritime Arbitrators Association. And last but not least, all of our local and international activity organizers. To refresh our memory, let's enjoy a video highlighting some great moments of the Maritime Week last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to you all for joining the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2021.
We hope you enjoyed the video. To formally kick off the opening ceremony of the week, may I invite Mr. Lam Sai Hung, the Secretary for Transport and Logistics and the Chairman of the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board, to come on stage and deliver the opening remarks. Mr. Lam, please.
Distinguished guests, friends from the maritime community, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, let me extend my warmest welcome to you all for joining the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022. I'm delighted to see so many friends, old and new, from home and afar. 2022 marks the 6th edition of the Hong Kong Maritime Week, which has been developed into a signature event for Hong Kong. We are proud to bring together the maritime community around the globe to advance key industry issues and exchange ideas to bring the sector forward. For the very first time, we have engaged several international maritime bodies as support organizations to promote our Maritime Weeks to audience worldwide. Special welcome to the Secretary General and Deputy Secretary General of the International Chamber of Shipping, who have come to Hong Kong to join this week's event in person. The National 14th Five-Year Plan supports consolidating Hong Kong's position as an international maritime center and the development of high value-added maritime services in Hong Kong. The outline development plan for the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area also expresses such support. Our hub status is characterized by the presence of a strong maritime community. We have nearly 900 maritime-related companies operating in Hong Kong, providing a great variety of shipping services. According to a recent study by the Hong Kong Polytechnic University and the Hong Kong Ship Owners Association, the maritime industry is estimated to have contributed 3.7% as a whole to Hong Kong's GDP in 2020. That equals to value added of about 94 billion of Hong Kong dollars. It also contributed to 4.5% of the total employment, or around 167,000 jobs in the same year. It is of the utmost importance to keep the maritime cluster vibrant. With the key contribution of the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board and the industry, the government will continue to take proactive measures to fuel the development of the maritime industry. Some examples include implementing tax concessions for shipping enterprises, smart port initiative, and new schemes for maritime manpower development. At the same time, we'll always take advantage of community efforts to tell our good stories and showcase Hong Kong's unique strength. There's no better opportunity to do so than the Hong Kong Maritime Week. This year, over 40 events are staged by local and overseas partners during the Hong Kong Maritime Week. They range from international conferences and forums to family-oriented activities such as visits and family fun day. Let me highlight a couple of key events. The Asian Logistics, Maritime and Aviation Conference, our flagship event, which requires little introduction, will be held tomorrow. Apart from popular programs organized by Mayor Forum and Sea Trade Maritime, there are several events under our new topics, namely building up of maritime talent pool and Greater Bay Area development. Last but not least, the Economist Impacts World Ocean Summit Asia Pacific Insight Hour is going to be held in this room shortly after this opening ceremony. On behalf of the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation for your participation and support. I wish the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022 a great success. I'm looking forward to the insightful exchanges in different forums among the leaders of the maritime industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lam, for the opening remarks. Today, we are honored to have Mr. John Lee, the Chief Executive, to deliver a recorded address for our ceremony.
Friends of the global maritime community, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm pleased to speak to you at the opening ceremony of the Hong Kong Maritime Week, a grand flotilla of events spotlighting major developments in the maritime industry here in Hong Kong and around the world. The Maritime Week is just the latest in a series of international events signaling Hong Kong's return to business. Earlier this month, we hosted a highly successful Global Financial Leaders Investment Summit. Over 200 international leaders from some 120 financial institutions flew to Hong Kong and joined us for this three-day summit. More than 40 of those institutions were represented by their group chairperson or CEO. It was followed by the Hong Kong Legal Week, in which we welcomed an array of overseas guests from preeminent institutions in private international law to Hong Kong. As you know, I was in Bangkok over the past couple of days to attend the APEC Economic Leaders Week and tell our friends, old and new, all about the good and true stories of Hong Kong. This week, I'm pleased to have this welcome opportunity to speak to a world of maritime business here in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Maritime Week features more than 40 conferences, seminars, receptions, and other gatherings through this Saturday. And what a welcoming sea of sectors, professions, and areas they cover, from maritime technology, insurance, finance and law, to ship management, education, and careers, the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, and much more. The series of events feature maritime visits, tours, competitions, and even a family fun day. And of course, this week's signature event, the two-day Asian Logistics, Maritime, and Aviation Conference, opens tomorrow. The world is watching, in person and online. They include representatives of the International Chamber of Shipping, the Baltic and International Maritime Council, and many other prestigious international maritime organizations, all of which are organizing events during this week. And of course, they include you, the professionals who power and navigate the course of the maritime industry, ship owners and executives, port and shipyard operators, suppliers and service providers, legal, financial, and logistics professionals, educators, government regulators and officials, and more. All of you believers in Hong Kong's maritime future, for good reason. The National 14th Five-Year Plan champions Hong Kong's status as an international shipping center. That includes the development of high value-added maritime services for better integration into our country's overall progress, and more specifically, Hong Kong's place in the development of a world-class port cluster. At a time when global supply chains face unprecedented disruption, the resilience and commitment of international trade and logistics continues to provide a lifeline for millions. In doing so, it enables access to food and other essential supplies. Global merchandise trade volume rebounded by nearly 10% last year, according to the World Trade Organization. This year is forecast to grow 3.5%. I'm confident that the international maritime sector will continue to play an essential role in the resumption of global trade. That very much includes Hong Kong. Our port, shipping, and maritime services have long underpinned the development of the trading and logistics sector, one of our pillar industries. Last year, Hong Kong was the world's sixth largest trading center, accounting for 3.1% of international merchandise trade, some $1.4 trillion in all. About 90% of our cargo volume is carried by water, underlining the essential importance of our port and shipping sector. Thanks to our international connectivity and multifaceted maritime excellence, Hong Kong Port remains one of the busiest container ports in the world. Last year, it handled nearly 18 million TEUs, making it one of the world's 10 busiest container ports. We are also a major regional transshipment port, with some 270 weekly international container vessel sailings connecting to nearly 600 destinations worldwide. We are home as well to nearly 900 shipping-related companies, providing a smart spectrum of maritime services, from ship broking, management and charting, to finance, law, and insurance offerings. In my policy address last month, I stated that we will fully capitalize on our position as a high value-added maritime services center and an important transshipment hub in the Asia-Pacific region. In July, we introduced half-rate profits tax concessions for ship agents, managers, and brokers. This followed earlier preferential tax regimes for ship leasing companies, ship leasing managers, and marine insurers. We are confident that these and other measures will attract international maritime companies to establish a presence in Hong Kong. The industry also needs talent to take full advantage of the boundless opportunities here. To attract maritime talent, we will launch a maritime services traineeship scheme next year. It will target young people looking to maritime law for their future. Next year, we will also launch a new scheme for high value-added maritime services. We take pride in the Hong Kong Shipping Register. It ranks 4th globally in gross tonnage. More than 11% of the deadweight tonnage of the world's merchant fleet is owned or managed by Hong Kong ship owners. As such, we have expanded services for owners of Hong Kong registered ships residing abroad, establishing Hong Kong Shipping Registry regional desks in 7 international cities. As I noted in the policy address, we will promote Hong Kong's smart port development. Ports around the world have started to go green and smart, whether that is transitioning to net zero carbon and reducing emissions, or meeting industry demands for efficient operation and greater sustainability. The current pandemic has brought these issues to the fore, a reminder of how vital it is to build resilience into everything we do. Incorporating smart and green solutions at the heart of port operations will help us meet these challenges. No less important, doing so delivers business continuity and economic efficiency. To that end, we are setting up a port community system. That means sharing data among operators and other stakeholders to boost the competitiveness of our port. Sustainable shipping initiatives are also in the works. They include the provision of liquefied natural gas bunkering for ocean-going vessels in Hong Kong and realizing the latest requirements of the International Maritime Organization. And given the boundless promise of the Greater Bay Area, we will develop an action plan to promote Hong Kong's value-added logistics development. That includes integrating sea, air, and land transport to strengthen the pivotal role Hong Kong plays in the GBA's connectivity. That, ladies and gentlemen, just touches on a few of the areas and opportunities our maritime industry is embracing. You'll hear a great deal more about Hong Kong, the Greater Bay Area, and the marine world beyond throughout this Maritime Week. For that, my thanks to the organizers, the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board, the Hong Kong Ship Owners Association, and the Hong Kong Maritime Museum. Thanks too to Maritime Week partners, the Hong Kong Trade Development Council and Invest Hong Kong. I wish you all the best of business and a fruitful Hong Kong Maritime Week. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the Chief Executive for the address. Coming up next, let's invite our guest of honor to come on stage to join us for the opening ceremony. May I invite Mr. Lam Sai Hung, Secretary for Transport and Logistics. Ms. Mabel Chan, Permanent Secretary for Transport and Logistics. Ms. Carol Yun, Director of Marine. Ms. Rosita Lau, Chairman of the Promotion and External Relations Committee. Captain Bjorn Højgaard, Chairman of the Maritime and Port Development Committee. Mr. Willie Lin, Chairman of the Manpower Development Committee. Mr. Wellington Koo, Chairman of the Hong Kong Ship Owners Association. Mr. Simon Bennett, Deputy Secretary General of the International Chamber of Shipping. And Professor Joost Schockenbroek, Museum Director of the Hong Kong Maritime Museum. May we take a picture first? Now we have our guest standing in front of a visual button. May I ask our guests on stage to put your hand on top of the button and then face the camera in the front for a picture, please. Now on the count of 3, would our guests please press the button on the screen to officially kickstart the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Guests may put their hands down now. The Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022 has officially begun. Let's get another shot for this special moment. Would our guests stand closer, please, for another photo? Let's all do a thumbs up for the next photo. Thank you. Would our guests please return to their seats? Our photographer will go on stage and take a group photo with all of us here in the ceremony. During the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022, more than 40 activities will be staged by over 60 local and overseas organizations, physically, online, and in hybrid mode, ranging from conferences and professional seminars to lighthearted maritime-themed visits, tours, competitions, and family fun days. You are most welcome to join these activities. Now we'll have our photographer ready on stage, and let's take a group photo of all of us here. One, two, three, say cheese. And let's all do a thumbs up for the next photo. Thank you. While this brings us to the end of the opening ceremony of the week, there are many exciting activities lined up ahead for your participation. Starting at 11 a.m. in this room, The Economist Impact will be hosting the World Ocean Summit Asia Pacific Insight Hour, titled Harnessing Opportunity, the Maritime Sector in a Post-Pandemic World. We hope to see you there. Thank you all again, and hope you enjoy the Hong Kong Maritime Week 2022.